Hey, what's going on? This is Birthday SK, and you're watching Cinemac. So on the last episode, we did a look back on Naruto. I want to incorporate movies, and I figured what better movie to start with than a movie that's really one of my favorites, which is Apocalypto. So Apocalypto is like a movie basically set in pre-Columbian Central America about the Mayans. So when we start out, we're introduced to the main character, who's Jaguar Paw, and it's him and a bundle of tribe dudes, like his homeboys basically, and an elder who's his father. And they're hunting a boar, and the boar is like running from them, but they're leading them to a trap, and then they catch him in the trap. It has like stakes in it. It stabs the boar up, and then they're like, okay, cool, we got our, our catch for the day. So they're cutting up pieces, and then they're giving pieces to each other. Like for the heart, I'm giving it to Donnie because Donnie got the most heart. We're gonna give the lungs to Rodney because Rodney the fastest. Stuff like that. Then it's another dude in the tribe who's like hunting with them, and he's like a really big dude. Let's call him Big Man. So he's giving out pieces, and then he takes the balls. Big Man, he's having like trouble getting his girl pregnant, so they give him the balls, and Jaguar Paw is like, yeah, this should help you. Like bites into he bites into him, and he's like, ugh, he spits him out, and everybody starts laughing because it's like, obviously, idiot. Then the elder, who's Jaguar Paw's father, pulls him to the side like, yo, you gotta stop letting these dudes, like play with you. You gotta like stand up for yourself. The ball thing, come on, dude. Like, be realistic. I got this red herb or whatever, and this red herb is like tested and true. Why I had sons, my father had, like why my son got a son, because Jaguar Paw got a son in his family. So he's like, okay, cool. So he gives them the red herb. Then they all head back to camp, and they got the boar. We got food for the tribe. So then they get back to the tribe, and it's all happy. Everybody got wives, but everybody else has kids except for Big Man. So Big Man is like going back to his peoples, but the mother-in-law is tight. She's like, yo, hurry up, dude. I need to be in there sleeping together all the time. I need grandkids, because everybody else has kids, and all the other elders have grandkids. So they go in there, and about a whole 2 minutes in, we start hearing screaming or whatever. And then his girl run out holding her mouth. He runs out holding his business, and she runs and starts pouring water in her mouth. And he runs and like jumps into like the watering hole. It was like a prank basically. The elder, he's dying laughing. What he did is he gave him like the red leaves he gave him caused like burning or whatever. So he put it on his stuff, and bada bing, bada boom, she got to wash her mouth out with water. So everybody's laughing, ha ha, it's good fun. Jaguar Paw and his father are hilarious. So then they have a good night. They got food, they dancing. A couple of the elders is talking, dropping knowledge. Then they go to sleep. And when they wake up, a militia from a nearby kingdom comes in, and they start taking the dudes prisoner. Jaguar Paw wakes up before everybody. He gets his wife and his son into like a deep well right outside the settlement. And his wife is like, yo, come down. But Jaguar Paw's like, nah, I can't. I'm Kobe Bryant for real. They need me out there. It's going to be bad. But if I'm not out there, it's going to be way worse. So he runs back in. And then he's in there, handling his business. Boom, dropping dudes, drop kicking dudes, like doing all kinds of stuff. Really being Kobe Bryant. But then on the militia side, there's a dude who's almost like the Tracy McGrady on his team. And he starts like, he's knocking dudes out too. He's like, bow, bow, bow. And he finna like drop the hammer or the axe down on somebody. But Jaguar Paw like throws a stick at his hand. So when he drops the hand down to swing, it like knocks his hand back, and Jaguar Paw just tackles him like boom, and then drops him, and they start getting to it. I want to make a special note and say that Jaguar Paw was going crazy, and so was Big Man. Big Man was like, bah, bah, like lifting dudes up by their neck, smashing their heads in and throwing them. It was crazy. But whatever. Jaguar Paw, he like gets the dude who's like Tracy McGrady. We're gonna call him Almost Man, and you'll see why in a minute. And then he's like, and then he finally gets him to where he's like holding a knife to Almost Man's throat. So Jaguar Paw finna kill him, and he's like slowly pushing it, and Almost Man finna get it. And then the head dude of militia comes by and like basically pulls Jaguar Paw back like, boom, you're done. And then Almost Man gets tight, like, you almost killed me. And he's like, I tried to hurt him. And then the military dude is like, back up. And then Almost Man's like, okay, cool. So Almost Man names Jaguar Paw Almost because he almost killed him. So then they lock everybody up. They got everybody tied up, and then they start, making their way out. So one of Jaguar Paw's homeboys got wounded during the fight. Like, he got stabbed up. So he's like weak, and they're walking through waterfalls. So water's flowing through it. They're not feeding them. They're not giving them no water. They're like dying on their feet, but he's dying way faster because he has this hole in him. So then they get to a cliff, and a piece breaks off, and the dude who has the hole in his side, he almost like falls, but they managed to save him through like real determination and work. And after all the work they put in, Almost Man comes back and he's like, okay, cool, good job, y'all, very good job. And then he cuts him off and pushes him off the cliff. And then they end up coming to this like destroyed and burnt down looking village of people who are sick and on the ground dead. Everybody's dead except for one little girl who has some like boars on her face, but she's trying to get to them like, hey, you know what I'm saying, I'm a little girl. But they're like, back up, like pushing her with a stick. And she's like, all right, whatever. And then she starts looking at Jaguar Paw, looking at him like while he's like walking. She's like, you know what I'm saying? And then one of the captors is like looking at her because she's like a fortune teller. So she looks at him and she's like, I'm gonna say what she says verbatim. She says, you fear me. You want to know how you're gonna die? Beware the man who brings the jaguar. Behold him reborn from mud and earth. At the very end, she whispers like, he's with us right now. So then they keep walking, and then they finally get to the outskirts of the kingdom. And then when they get into the kingdom, a whole bunch of ladies come in and start just like dipping their hands in buckets and covering them up with blue paint. So it's like all the captives just walking around with blue paint everywhere except for their heads. And all the women, they end up selling into slavery. So they start selling people, and all the young women, all the people's wives pretty much go. But the mother-in-law who was tripping on Big Man about bringing her a grandson, no one buys her. So now she's just sitting there in the city, no help, don't know nobody. So like she's literally just like thrown into the wilderness to die. It's really horrifying. And something else I peeped that's actually really sad, she never got her grandkids. So then the captors take Jaguar Paw and all his men up a big pyramid. And as they're walking up the pyramid, they see a head rolling down. The only thing they're thinking is like, oh my God, what is happening? Where are we?
What the fuck is going on?
So when they get to the top of the pyramid, it's like some religious figure, some witch doctor, some kind of leader. And he's like preaching to them and saying, oh yeah, our crops is bad. The gods are displeased. So we're going to sacrifice these guys in blue. We're going to get our crops back and everything. So then they start taking them one by one, and they lay them on this platform and they cut their stomach open, reach in, pull their heart out. It's really crazy. And then they put it on some hot rocks, whatever. So it's like people are just doom, just keep them going. And then Jaguar Paw's going up next. And he looks at his homeboy like, bro, this is not the day I die. It can't be. I'm too real for that. I'm the main character. And as they're finna stab his stomach open, and the clip starts, you know, as like eclipse do, they end. So the leaders say, oh yeah, boom, God is happy, we're good, we don't gotta kill these guys no more. And then the head of the military dude is like, yo, so what should we do with the captives? And the religious leader's like, who cares, get rid of them, dispose of them. You know what I'm saying? And then they take them back to the yard. And it's almost like a football field. So like, yeah, it's like, yeah, about a football field. They untie everybody, cut their ropes, so they're free. Their arms are good, their legs are good, and you know what I'm saying, they're able to move. So he says, you're gonna run to the forest. Outside of this football field thing we got is your forest. You can get to it, you're good. So they send them out in like twos, and the first group goes, and they're like running, and out of nowhere they start flinging arrows and rocks and spears and javelins, and they start like, you know what I'm saying, aiming at them. So they're like running from weapons. And then the first guy, he gets hit, he's out. And then Big Man, he's running, he gets stabbed in his side, he's out. So then more people go. Then Jaguar Paw goes, and they start zigzagging, which is the most sensible thing to do. Jaguar Paw gets very, very close to the end, but the military dude, he sent his son to be what they call a finisher, and the finisher stands down there just wait to, like, you know what I'm saying, like be the last defense. So Jaguar Paw's running, he gets hit with an arrow, but he's not down, so he gets back up to try to fight. The military dude's son comes in to try to hit him. Big dude, who's not out because he got hit with an arrow, he like grabs his leg to distract him, and then finisher smacks Big Man in the face. It gives Jaguar Paw enough time to, you know, kind of recover. And then when the finisher goes to stab Jaguar Paw, Jaguar takes the knife and ends up stabbing the finisher. So the finisher comes up and he dies. And the military dude on the other side of the field is like shocked. He's like, yo, what the hell? So the military dude starts to run straight up. So Jaguar Paw, he like sees him and he starts to run into the forest. You know what I'm saying? Like he pulls the arrow out and he starts dipping. And then the military dude goes, he sees his son and he's in tears and he's like, he gets up and he just starts running into the forest. And his followers like follow him, and it's like basically 10 dudes and Jaguar Paw running, chasing Jaguar through the forest. And as he's running, he runs and slips and falls into like this pit. And the pit has countless headless bodies covered in blue paint just filled up into the pit. So Jaguar Paw is like, you know what I'm saying, like in fear. Oh my God, like, yo, this is crazy. So he gets up, he runs or whatever. And now they're in the forest, they're running. He's tired, he's wheezing, but he's running. You know what I'm saying? Like, he a jaguar for real. He running. And he gets tired and he goes up into a tree to, you know what I'm saying, hide from the dudes. And he's hiding up there, and they run under him, not even knowing he's in the trees. And his blood drops and hits like the shoulder of Almost Man. So then they run past him, and he's like, whew, they're gone. He turns and sees like a baby jaguar. And he's like, oh my God, that's so cute. And he turns and he sees like the mom jaguar, and he's like, oh shit. So then we snap to the next scene, and it's just him sprinting top speed and the jaguar behind him. And while they're searching, they see Jaguar just sprinting. So they all start to run. But one of the dudes is just faster than everybody else. So he's just, and he starts really catching up to Jaguar, like really finna get him, really finna stop him so they can get him. and he runs right behind Jaguar Paw. And the Jaguar who's chasing Jaguar Paw jumps up and tackles the militia dude and starts tearing his face up. They're like, damn, this is crazy. You remember what the little girl said? Like, beware the man who brings the Jaguar. Oh, shit. But the military leader, he don't care. Like, Jaguar killed his son. He ain't got nothing else to say. He said, like, who cares about your stupid omens? He's running because he's scared. So they keep chasing him. So as they're running, and he's running away from him. Out of nowhere, a snake just jumps up and bites the dude who was just saying, like, yo, this is a bad omen. The little girl warned us about this. He gets bit by a snake in his neck. He's gone. So that's 2 people down. And they're still chasing. So then Jaguar Paw comes to like a waterfall. And he's like, damn, you don't want to land on no rocks. And then he sees them running up from behind him. And they're launching arrows and everything. So he just jumps. Boom. He lands in the water. Luckily, thank God, he misses any rocks and he's straight. All the military dudes are standing at the top of the waterfall like, damn. And then they see him come up out the water. So he gets out the water, all the blue paint's off of him. And he starts to really like saying pop his shit. He's like, yo, I'm Jaguar Paw, you bitch ass niggas. This whole shit is my forest. And then he starts like waving them on like, yo, come on, come see. And one of the dudes is like, yo, boss, let's not jump down because we might hit them rocks. Let's climb down and then we can really get him. Then he stabs him with a knife and drops him. And then he says, we all jump straight up. So then they all jump. So then they start chasing him. And Jaguar Paw sees like, these niggas are crazy. They really want to come and see. That's crazy. So he starts running and he slips and falls into like some quicksand. But it's black. It's black and muddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they're getting out the water. Boom. And then they start to try to chase him into the spot. He gets out and he's covered in just nothing but black. And it's like a wonderful shot where he's like just looking up into the forest, into the sky. And he's like, I'm Jaguar Paw. This is my forest. These niggas about to die. So they run up, and then they see him standing there covered in black. But he's holding a big leaf wrapped up, and in that leaf is like a wasp nest. He throws the leaf, and the whole nest cracks and starts lighting up the whole militia. It's crazy. And then he dips into the forest. And they're getting bit up and lit up. And one dude is like really torn up. Like he's like running like sloppily. You know what I'm saying? He's really dead on his feet. And Jaguar Paw, he sees a little frog, takes the frog, and then he takes like small little branches and he starts like shooting the little poison covered darts at the dude who's already dying on his feet. And he's like, "Tah." And dude drops over it. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, this whole time they keep losing dudes. So it's only like 3 or 4 dudes left. So dude is like dying. And he's like, ugh. And he falls. So Jaguar sees him. He's finna walk and go pick up his sword. And then who comes back around? Almost Man. So then it's like Almost Man standing there looking dead at Jaguar Paw. And Jaguar Paw standing there looking dead at Almost Man. So at the same time, they just jet towards each other. And Almost Man, he needs to just hit Jaguar Paw. It's one good time. So they're running, and then Almost Man's finna knock him, and Jaguar Paw slides. He's like, to where he gets like nicked on his forehead, and Jaguar picks up the thing, and just bow, just boom, knocks him. It's crazy. And the Jaguar is like, yeah, you bitch ass nigga, what's up? Bow, like uppercut up the chin, and then it's beautiful. It's a wonderful wrap up for that little arc. So then Jaguar Paw, he sees it start raining, and he's like, oh damn, my family's in the well, I gotta get them out. So he runs up, and mind you, he's in his element now. So he sees the tribal leader and the 2 followers. It's only 3 of them left, the leader and 2 no-name followers. And they start chasing him because they see him and they're hawking him. And it's like, boom. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the final run, the climax of it. But mind you, he's in his element. So he's like running. And the same trap that he caught the pig with, he catches the leader with. The leader runs through and sets off the trap. And the big log with all the sparks come in and he stabs up the leader. And the leader's like, he's out of there. You know what I'm saying? He's filled with holes. And then the 2 followers like see Jaguar and they start chasing him. But at this point, they don't even know why they're chasing him because the leader's dead now. And then they chase him to a beach. And on that beach, we see boats coming. They're coming. And then the 2 lackey dudes who was following the leader, they decide to go to the beach. Let's meet these people. Jaguar Paw know better. So he turns around and he runs back to the forest. He gets to his wife and his kid and he sees them and he's like, yo, I got y'all. They just skip to the next scene. But he got his 2 sons, he got his wife, and he got divorced, and they see the white dudes, and the wife is like, yo, you wanna go meet him? Like, you wanna go see what that's about? And Jaguar Paws is like, nah, I'm good. We're gonna stay in the fort. And that's pretty much the end of it. But yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. I thought it was wonderful. You can expect more movies, expect more TV shows. We're not done with Naruto. We're gonna cover everything. I'm talking Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War, the whole saga, some more TV shows, some more movies. If you made this far, great. If you enjoyed the video, even greater. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please like and subscribe. I'm told you should start saying that in these videos, so I'm gonna start saying that. But thank you for everything, and y'all be safe.